The Rambam in Hilchot Teshuvah quotes a famous Gemara in Masechet Kiddushin Daf Mem Amud Bet. The Gemara says that a person should always look at himself as if he is Chatzi Chayav v'Chatzi Zakai, which means right now the scales in Shamayim against him, they're exactly 50-50, exactly right in the middle for innocence and guilt. If a person does one mitzvah, then he will tilt the scales to the side of the innocence, to the side of zechut, and if a person does one avirah, he will tilt it to the side of guilt. Not only that, the Gemara continues, a person shouldn't only view himself like that, just like every person is judged on Rosh Hashanah, you know what else is judged? Every city, every country, and the entire world. A person should constantly look at the entire world as 50-50. The scale is right there. One avirah, you tip the scale for the entire world, chas v'shalom, to the tzad of guilt. One mitzvah, you just saved the world. You're a hero. And the Rambam says, based on this Gemara, this is the way a person should lead his life. It's a cheshbon that a person should make all the time. Interestingly, the Gemara in Masechet Nida Daf Lamed Amud Bet continues and says that a person should always look at himself as a rasha. Even if the entire world comes and tells a person, you're a big tzaddik, a person should still view himself as a rasha. Maran Zechron Bracha in Chazon Vadia discusses this concept, and he says the Gemara doesn't necessarily mean that a person should look at himself as a rasha. But to negate that if the entire world comes and says, you're a great tzaddik, don't think of yourself like that, because if you do, that's going to impact your Shmirat Torah mitzvot. A person's not going to strive. A person's going to say, well, if I'm such a big tzaddik, then I've made it already. What's left for me to do? Not only that, there's a Mishnah in Masechet Avot. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avot says, Al tehi rasha bifnei atzmecha. You're not allowed to look at yourself as a rasha. The Rambam in his Perusha Mishnah, on that Mishnah says, because if a person thinks of himself as a genuine rasha, there's nothing stopping him from doing all the averot in the Torah, because the Yetzer Hara says, well, if you're already a rasha and there's no hope for you, he's going to despair of doing tshuva like Elisha ben Avuya did, and he's just going to do all the averot. Rather, based on this, Maran Zechron Bracha says, a person shouldn't look at himself as a tzaddik or a rasha. A person should look at himself constantly as a benoni, as an average person, always striving to do better, always trying to tip the scales in favor of zechut, in favor of innocence and zechut for the world and for himself. In doing so, that's how a person will live all of his days in teshuvah and ma'asim tovim. Have a wonderful day.